new faces, which is really nice. My name is Marcela Alzin, and I'm from TTTech, I'm basically the communication and dissemination manager for the Change to Twin project. And today, I would like to present you the lessons learned from the first assessment open call, which is a summary of things which are relevant to all of us, to you as digital innovation hubs, but also for the applicants and also for our entire consortium. And I'm very happy to have Thomas Gross here also from Linz Center of Mechatronics, who will also complement me with his experience from the last year's assessment, and he will tell you a little bit more from hands-on experience. So without further ado, I would like to show you the top 10 lessons learned. Right, so I have been brainstorming with my colleagues from the project and also with Digital Innovation Hubs, and this is the top 10. So I will just go through it, and don't worry, I have slides for each of them, so we'll discuss each of these items individually. But just to have it as a summary, the first lesson learned: if the company which would like to apply is below digitalization level 2, forget it. It makes no sense. Then, if you are going to prepare a digital twin for a company, stick to single purpose. We have seen that no multi-purpose digital twins make sense within our scheme. Keep in mind standards. You will have a presentation from Jochen after me, so he will tell you more. Start early with the preparation, so don't think it's 3 months ahead of us. Do have realistic expectations, and it also applies to the companies you will be guiding. Please do the assessment on premises. Use our technology marketplace. And don't forget that a proper assessment is a key to successful implementation of a digital twin. And don't forget to look at the whole picture and involve all workers concerned in the company and not just managers. And last but not least, approach possible candidates directly. Don't wait until somebody comes and asks you to please support them in the assessment voucher. Good, this was a very fast overview. Let's go to each of them individually. So, if you have a company which you see that their digitalization level from the very beginning, as Michael and Jeroen told you yesterday, if they are not even 2, this doesn't make sense. Don't continue. This is nice if they want to get a consultation from you, but companies with low digitalization level are simply not fit for digital twins. Full stop. We are looking for potential candidates to continue in the deployment phase. So anybody who would be below that level would not be fit to continue, and an assessment for information purposes only does not serve the purpose of Change to Twin. So please don't waste your time with such companies. Then, as I said, of course you can build multi-purpose digital twins, but if you have a very limited time in Change to Twin to do your assessment and to do your deployment, and most companies are not experienced here and too ambitious, so choose really one purpose for the digital twin and follow it. Of course, you can provide recipes for 3 different purposes, but each digital twin, each recipe should address really just one purpose, not more than that. Because with multiple purpose digital twins, companies can lose focus and then they are confused and this can end up in frustration. And as I said, don't forget the time frame that you have. Okay, standards. As I told you, this should be addressed already in the assessment phase. It's never too early to start talking about standards, and you should really prepare companies to take standards into consideration and use them, because this is the way to scale up. So Jochen will tell you more because he is the expert in this field. So I'm not going to spend too many words on this, but this is a very important lesson learned. It's never too early to speak about standards. Start early with the preparation. So, as I said, even though the application form that the beneficiary will submit to us is quite simple and straightforward, but you should encourage these companies to take enough time to prepare, because it's not only filling in a form of 2 or 3 pages, but this means to think about their business strategies and their visions for the future. What they really want to achieve with the digital twin. And if the small form that they are filling in is written just in 2 hours, 2 days before the deadline, be sure that this is not a quality application and you will not be able to fund. So this is also the reason why we're giving you and especially them sufficient time frame to prepare, and let's not do it at the last minute. And ideally, as I said, I'm addressing also you, even though it's the beneficiary, the company, who will be submitting the proposal. But in ideal case, do work together on the proposal to ensure a smooth execution of the project. Because unless you have not spoken together, who can expect what? Then in case the proposal is then accepted, it may cause a lot of discussions and misunderstandings. So really, ideally, I would suggest you work together on the proposal, the company submits, and when the project is funded, you can start immediately. Have realistic expectation. This is very, very important. Digital twin is not a magic cure. It's not a silver bullet, and it will really not solve all problems of the company. You have to make sure before the company applies that they understand that this is not a trivial process, and that building up and deployment of a digital twin is a technically super complex process. So even if they think it's not going to be a big thing, it will be. It's something which brings a lot of changes for the company. So don't underestimate this, and that's why companies should not be too bold and too ambitious with the digital twinning plans. This is what I will say also later. We are not funding the most ambitious projects that we'll be receiving, right? It's not about the bold goals and super ambitious digital twins, but about realistic visions. So even if the goal looks like moderate and modest, maybe this is the right way to go, because then they can scale up and they can avoid frustration from taking too much on their shoulders. And this leads me to the statement of overconfidence of companies. When you meet a company who would like to take part in the assessment. They may be telling you hundreds of things, how good they are in digitalization and whatever. Please make sure before and ask direct questions to verify if this is true, because they may be thinking they are somewhere level 4 and then in the end they may be a level 1.5, right? So be careful and inspect and ask what is behind it. Then lesson learned from an assessment, not from before assessment. Please do the assessments on premise. I know that we had a long period of COVID and many companies were closed and did not accept any visitors. We know it, but now, in the hope that the situation will improve, do the assessments on the premise. Go to the company, see the people, meet those people, see the machinery, see the plant, and make your own picture. Of course, if it's not possible, then it's not possible, right? But insist as long as possible to make at least part of your assessment on premise, because this is going to give you a more realistic picture of where they are and where they are going. Yes, our technology marketplace, or better, a solution marketplace. You have heard it already several times, but this is really an important item. We have created a technology and solutions marketplace to help you with the creation of digital twin recipes. And basically, the solutions offered by Change to Twin consortium partners are for free. I put it into brackets because this means that if you put a solution from a Change to Twin consortium partner into your recipe and the company will win the deployment voucher in the next turn, then it does not add up to their budgets. So this is already in the package. So this is quite an important point for you. On the other hand, you can encourage your local solution providers to enroll in the marketplace. This is also for free, and this can expose them to broader markets. So this is definitely a win-win situation for US Digital Innovation Hub, for the local technology providers in your neighborhood, and also for the companies. So you can build up a local ecosystem. The proper assessment as a key to successful implementation. So as I said, we really want complete stories, and we want to guide our beneficiaries from the scratch, from designing of the digital twins, from the assessment until the deployment. This is the ideal case. Of course, it will not be everywhere so, but this is the ideal case, which we are also proceeding in the first round. But in order to succeed here, we really need that both you and the company take the assessment very seriously, and that you do the assessment really well, because then, only then, the company will be prepared enough for submitting a competitive proposal in the deployment voucher. I emphasize this with competitive proposal in the deployment open call, because from our experience, in the previous round, we really got applications from beneficiaries in the assessment voucher, but unfortunately not good enough, and unfortunately we could not fund their proposals. So be careful with this, and take take this first step, the assessment, very seriously, and encourage also the companies to do so. And as usual, for a good cooperation, it's very important to have a work plan. So do prepare an assessment work plan for you and them, for the assessment and beyond, and follow it. Number 9, involve all workers concerned, not just managers. This is also a very important lesson learned, and please don't forget about it, because companies usually, when you do the assessment with them, they will bring you the IT specialists, the plant owners, and so on. But very rarely you will meet the people who will operate the digital twin, who will use them in their daily work and which will also change their daily work. So try to involve all workers which will be involved in the digital twin usage in your discussions. This will be a great help for the company, even if they are not aware of that. Yes, and last but not least, approach possible candidates directly. As I told at the beginning, when you are now certified by us and we list you on our website, this does not mean that you will be sitting in your offices and waiting until the possible candidates will come to you. Please be active and contact companies which you know, companies which are in your region and might be good candidates, and look for them actively and offer them your services and introduce them to change to twin. This is the only realistic possibility how you can proceed. Otherwise, you will just lose time. And as I said, you can also help the SME or the mid-cap to prepare the application. Good, this was the top 10 list, but there are still some points which are important, but unfortunately didn't make it into the top 10. So I wanted to put you on your heart that in writing a proposals, the companies should not write what they think that we would like to read. And this has to do with those high ambitions, and I don't know, encourage them to stay down to earth and be realistic. In the proposals, we want to read what the company really needs. Nothing else. There is there is nothing behind it. Stay straightforward and just let them say without any decorations what they need and why they apply. Full stop. And make sure, this is also very important, maybe it seems trivial, but we also had that issue last year. Make sure that the company really complies with change to twin requirements, right? Make sure that they are an SME or mid-cap according to our classification. Make sure that they classify as manufacturer and not something else. If you are not sure, please contact our help desk. Our colleagues will help you immediately if you have any doubts, but make sure that you are not wasting time with a company which is in the end not compliant with our open call. And last but not least, you may be very enthusiastic about this open call, but we would like to recommend you to not take too many applicants because this will just dissipate your focus, and maybe it's better to take all those recommendations that I have presented to you into account and select just a few best ones, the with those with highest potential and those with highest motivation, and take them and prepare the submission with them. Right. And this is basically all from me. Now I would like to ask Thomas from Linz Center of Mechatronics, DIH, to tell us what was your experience from the first assessment open call. Thomas, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Marcela. Hello also from my side. My name is Thomas Gross from Linz Center of Mechatronics. I lead the digital twin team at LCM, and we joined Change the Twin as a digital innovation hub for the first round of the assessment and also for the deployment phase. And I'm happy to share actually my experience with you. And I can just say the top 10 lessons. I can just underline each single of these lessons from you, Marcela. So I've also took a screenshot, and actually it was really the top lessons learned also for us at LCM. So let me quickly introduce LCM. We are R&D service provider situated in Linz in Upper Austria, and we are a digital innovation hub specialized on mechatronics. We also host a government-funded competence center on symbiotic mechatronics, and we try to serve our customer with the whole chain from sensors, data acquisition, modeling, and deployment of digital twins and process optimization models. In the first phase, we were approached by TTTech and asked if we also want to participate as a digital innovation hub, which we did. And as a first, I would say, test balloon, we approached one of our long-year partners in our competence center, Salvanini Maschinenbau, and asked them if they want to hand in an application for an assessment to plan the deployment of a digital twin. And they were willing to. So this company was also an Austrian company which produces and develops optimized panel bending center. So they distribute machines to manufacture steel sheet panel products and sell them to their customers who use these machines to create those sheet metal forming products. They are a mid-cap. They have had around 450 employees, 140 million euro turnover in 2021. And they were located next to our competence center. So we had close access also to their manufacturing plant. Salvanini in general had a high level of digitalization. However, they wanted to go one step further, and they saw the chance in the Change the Twin assessment to get a fresh and structured framework for a new holistic view on digital twins, with a focus also on the business needs. And this was exactly what we could get out of this assessment. So actually the assessment was quite structured. So the information was quite clear what to do from the consortium side. So we started with preparation, so preparing our partner, which we assessed by sending them the necessary material and telling them what we are expected to assess in the first workshop, which we did also on site. So this was also very beneficial to be on site, to see the production and to talk to them at their headquarters. This was the first workshop was about half a day, so 4 hours, where we used the Compass tool. However, also keep in mind that the post-processing of the Compass tool, the finalization and putting together a summary will also take quite some time. Also, the second workshop, where we applied the digital twin readiness tool, took place on site. And again, it was a 4-hour workshop, and then we took some time for the post-processing, the finalization, and to write a summary and discuss it with our SME partner. The next steps were then to post-process everything and to come up with these 3 recipes, which we also iterated with Salvanini in telcos. This is something we just did via Teams, which also worked quite well. And then we actually took the lead on writing the assessment report, iterated it with our company partner and handed it in. So all in all, we spent around, I would say, 80 hours on this assessment, which was quite in the budget. Since this was our first assessment, we will maybe be a little bit quicker with the next assessment. However, we also knew the partner quite well, so maybe the next time we will take more time into getting to know our SME or our manufacturing partner. Some points which we found very helpful from the Compass tool side was that during the discussion and filling out the tools, we really could boil it down to one major KPI our company partner wanted to improve, and this was the total cost of ownership at their customers. So everything boiled down to this one point, and we also then created recipes which served exactly this purpose. We had the feeling that this company was in an excellent position to implement such a solution since they had the IoT infrastructure already in place and also digital twin core model. This was actually also one result of the assessment, but also we had the feeling that we have to improve on the digital twin fitness, and this was also something the readiness tool had as an output. So it really pinpointed the fact that we should improve on the cradle to grave aspect. And at the end, after handing in the assessment, this company, Salvanini, also handed in a proposal for a deployment with a focus on a predictive maintenance use case. And this was also accepted. And now they are starting to implement the recipe we put out into the assessment. So our main lessons learned for the next phase was that we want to spread the word a little bit wider and get into touch with more possible candidates and have around 4 or 5 maybe applying for an assessment. Another lessons learned was, and something we would like to share with you, is that performing the assessment as it should be done, and as it should be done also for the report, was very, very helpful for then proposing an idea for the deployment voucher. So this is something which helps you a lot when you then start to write together the ideas for a proposal for the deployment voucher. So a proper assessment is key also and helps you for the next step of getting the digital twin deployed and also for handing in a successful proposal. So yes, so this was actually the experience from our side. For us, this was a great chance to talk to our company partners about digital twins, to see how digital twins can benefit their business and also to help them really get the digital twins working in their company.
Thomas, thank you very much. This was a really great talk from you with a lot of practical experience from the part of Digital Innovation Hub. So thank you very much for that. And exactly, you and Salvanini were one of those very successful assessments from the previous rounds, which did it also to the next round with deployment. So really congratulations. To all of you, I would like to say, hopefully my screen goes again. Yes. So at the end of my speech, and I would like to refer you to some further reading and watching. First of all, Thomas gave a longer speech, also including the perspective of Salvanini Maschinenbau some time ago in an internal meeting, which we have recorded, and both LCM and Salvanini have agreed to make this talk public. So please go to our YouTube channel, or today I will put it also on our LinkedIn channel, where you can also listen to Thomas speaking about 15 minutes in more details about their beneficiaries' experience. Then another talk, another talk which I would like to recommend to you, and which was also very important for me to prepare for this session, was on this Monday when I met with Jeroen, who you know, and also Peter Lalori, both from TNO, who are the masterminds behind the pilot experiments. And we have recorded a session about the lessons learned from pilot experiments and beyond. So you can listen also to this one. We also have a similar case study from Frank Doyle from Ireland, from the IS4Prod DIH. Frank guided 2 companies in the first assessment last year. So he also gave us a very nice presentation. So I would really recommend you to listen to it. We also have a final report from the pilot experiments, which is a big one. If you want to get some experience from there, you can read. And last but not least, we have a white paper which was published last year. It's called Overcoming 9 Digital Twin Barriers for Manufacturing SMEs. And this paper contains really a lot of good advice for both you and your company. So I recommend you to download it and read it. Yes, and my final slide before I hand over to Gladys is just reminding you, we would like you to showcase your assessment story with Change to Twin, because this is very important. As you can see now when we are speaking with the colleagues from the previous assessments, that they can give you some experience and some knowledge. So we would like to do the same with you. So don't forget, we would really like to hear from you, and we'll also contact you for interviews when you already have a project with a company, and we would like to hear from you. Many thanks for your attention. Good luck in your assessments, and yes, now I'm handing over to Gladys.